And now moving on, after Columbia University, President Donald Trump seems to have another Ivy League institution in his crosshairs, Harvard University. The Trump administration is threatening to pull out billions in federal grants targeting Harvard over alleged failures to address anti-Semitism on campus. Columbia University has already lost hundreds of millions in federal funding over similar concerns. Will Donald Trump pull the plug on Harvard's funding as well? Here's the story with more.
From cancer cure to the humanity-defining consequences of artificial intelligence. At Harvard University, science finds the task to solve the modern world's most pressing challenges. But President Donald Trump's administration could be just one step away from pulling the plug on some of the most advanced scientific research-related developments of our times. The U.S. government has announced a review of nearly $9 billion in federal grants to Harvard as part of its investigation into how the Ivy League institution handled anti-Semitism in the wake of pro-Palestine protests on the campus. The administration said it will examine over $255 million in current contracts and $8.7 billion in grants spread over multiple years. The Trump administration says Harvard has failed to protect students from quote-unquote anti-Semitic discrimination in what critics believe is a reference to the pro-Palestine encampment at Harvard last spring. Addressing the purported concerns raised by the Trump administration, the university's president, Alan Garber, said that the institution is committed to tackle anti-Semitism, calling anti-Semitism one of the most insidious forms of bigotry. The Harvard president emphasized the university's commitment to academic freedom and called for dialogue. Trump's threat to terminate Harvard's funding tranches follow the cancellation of $400 million in federal funding to Columbia University over what his administration described as unchecked anti-Semitism in the New York-based institution. In response, Columbia University agreed to the government's demands to tighten rules on campus protests and hire security officers with arrest powers. Days later, the university's interim president, Katrina Armstrong, also resigned from her position. The Trump administration called the New York-based institution's reaction a promising first step towards regaining federal funding. The federal funding cuts, added with a politically charged atmosphere, have even contributed in a drop in applications at Columbia, with many reconsidering their enrollment. Unlike Columbia University, the Trump administration is only reviewing, not cancelling, the grants and contracts at Harvard. But the New York-based institution's federal funding cuts have put its Massachusetts-based Ivy League counterpart on a cautious road ahead. With billions in federal funding at stake, Harvard's response to the Trump administration's scrutiny can shape not only its own future, but also the broader landscape of higher education and scientific progress in America.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
The Prime Minister Modi. How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.